How come some average engineers advance so quickly while some brilliant engineers stay stuck? After 15 years as an engineer, a PhD, and hundreds of technical problems solved, I found that the skill that actually gets you promoted is not problem solving. In this video, I'm breaking down the one shift, the formula that changed everything for me, and probably explain you why you feel stuck even if you are one of the smartest person in the room. This works independently if you're an employee or you own a business. I am Emmanuel Ferru. I spent the last 15 years writing software, leading teams, and watching who actually gets promoted and who doesn't. Early in my career, I thought technical skills, knowledge are everything, are the ones that make you win. I wasn't wrong, I was just incomplete. So what are the things that actually matters? I've broken it down into 4 things that I wish someone would have told me 15 years ago. Starting with reliability. This is big. Do you do what you promise? Do you follow through? Do you deliver? A reliable engineer becomes invaluable. I saw engineers dragging tasks from week to week, from sprint to sprint, and even though initially they had a certain level of trust from the team, eventually this trust was lost. And what happens when people lose trust in those team members? They feel like they not belong to the team anymore. So either they leave themselves or they are eventually fired. So how do you become more reliable? Do what you say and do it every time. Communicate early when you cannot deliver. When you're given tasks, avoid vague words like I will try, maybe, I see what I can do, I should be able to do that, because this implies you have an exit. So use this instead. Not I will try to do that, I'll do that by Thursday. Reliability isn't about being right or fast. It's about being predictable. Number 2, knowledge. Yes, this matters. It's important to have a good foundation to improve your technical skills because the more you know, the more complex problems you can solve. So technical competence matters, but I thought this is everything. I worked on many technical projects, but here is what I didn't see coming. Being the smartest person in the room doesn't automatically make you the most successful person in the room. You need something more. And this brings me to number 3, communication. This is huge. The ability to explain complex ideas simply, to communicate with each other, to connect. This is very important. It is an extraordinary skill. Not nice to have, is a must have skill. Every living thing communicates in a certain form. So we as human beings, we should be able to communicate and master communications. I remember participating to a course about presenting skills, and at the course they asked us to record ourselves, which I did. But watching back those clips with me, it was awful. I couldn't watch myself. So how can somebody else look at me when I could not look at me speaking? I also had an attempt to start a YouTube channel very early, and I gave up. I gave up for the same reason. I said, this is not for me. I could not see myself speaking, and I gave up. Now I realized the importance of communication. So that is why I'm in front of you and I'm now doing this again. And for the first time, I started to be able to look at myself. And I already see changes. When I go to a meeting room and I look at other people's eyes and they look at me and there is silence, I know that something is going on. I know that something is better than before. So I advise you to do the same. The best way to improve communication and to improve communication fast is to record yourself. You could write articles, you could read books, that's all fine. But the thing that accelerates your communication is seeing how you speak. Record yourself and play back and see how you look when you talk. Number 4, visibility. Another lesson that many engineers resist, and I was part of it as well. You can be excellent, but if nobody knows you, nobody knows what you do, nobody knows what you build, you are invisible. I remember during my PhD presenting at conferences. The difference between before and after the presentation is huge. Before the presentation, I was sitting down and nobody looked at me. Nobody had interest in me. Nobody wanted to speak with me. As soon as I presented, I gave my talk and I sat down again, people started to look at me. When I exit the door, they approached me. They wanted to speak with me and share more information. That's the power of visibility. Of course, as an engineer, as a good engineer, you can grow organically. People will recognize that you do very good things, that you build very exceptional stuff. But eventually, if you don't proactively do something to increase your visibility, this will go very slowly. Will take you years and years to reach what you could reach much earlier in your career. So my advice, show yourself, talk to people, engage, write posts. I see people on LinkedIn, smart people that I know in real life. They are basically invisible. They never write anything on LinkedIn. They never share their thoughts. And I would like to hear more from them. That is just in their advantage. For people striving for promotions and titles, let me tell you something. Titles matter less than you think. Senior engineers, lead engineers, managers, they all sound important, but they are not as important as you may think. As a PhD, nobody ever read my diploma. Because when people need help, they ask, who do I know? Visibility. Who can solve this? Knowledge. Who can be trusted? Reliability. And who understands me? Communication. The biggest career lesson is a very simple formula. Impact equals knowledge times reliability times communication times visibility. What I know, how trustful I am, how I explain, how many people know me. For example, you know a lot, you're reliable, you communicate well, but you have no to little visibility. Then your impact is very low. Notice how everything is the amplifier of everything. I was good at knowledge and I was reliable, but I was not communicating clearly and I was completely invisible. So my impact was very low. I'm now here to amplify my impact by improving my communication and visibility. If I could go back 15 years ago and give myself a piece of advice, it would be this. Spend less time on focusing on titles and promotions. Spend more time on becoming someone people trust, people understand, and people remember. This will give you the promotion and success, not only in your job, but also in your life. I wish you good luck. I hope this was useful and see you in the next video.